Hi, everyone. My name's Sooree Pillay. I'm the regional producer for the Midlands at Orchestras Live, and I'm delighted today to be joined by Bradley Wilson, who is the founder of Underscore Orchestra, is a recent graduate of the Royal Birmingham Conservatoire, and a freelance musician based in Birmingham. Welcome, Bradley. Nice to see you.
Hello, it's really nice to come and talk to you today.
Yes, thanks for coming to talk to me. I just wanted to start, really. Um, I came across you at a meeting in Birmingham. Um, was it maybe a couple of years ago now, a year and a half ago?
Yeah, probably about a year and a half ago now, yeah.
And I just found it really interesting to hear about your journey at that point. And it'd be really interesting, I think, for you to talk a bit about your journey in music, from whenever you want to start.
Yeah, of course. So my first instrument is the trumpet, which I would like to say there was some sort of mystical backstory as to how I got into it, but it was very sort of classic 8-year-old boy just wanting to do what his best friend was doing. I'd always said that if I was going to start any instrument, it was going to be percussion or like drum kit. And then my best friend at the time started having cornet lessons. And I was like, okay, well, if he's doing it, I need to do that too. So I played the cornet for a year and then moved on to the trumpet, which even though they're quite similar, the trumpet is annoyingly slightly longer than the cornet. So the first time I picked it up, I managed to whack myself in the face with it because
Nice.
I was shocked about how much quicker it got to my lips. Um, and then, yeah, so I started playing the trumpet. And then when I turned around sort of 14, 15, that's when I again sort of accidentally stumbled into conducting. I was on a sort of brass band training course in Northampton with my county training brass band, and the conductor was just taking 5 or 10 extra minutes longer to finish his tea in the tea break. So I just thought I'd have a go, and yeah, that's how that started.
That's amazing. So, did you have, would you say you had music surrounding you when you were growing up?
Yeah, definitely. We lived in a house where music was always on. There was it was never classical music, to be fair. I was sort of the first person in my immediate family to have any sort of interest in anything that wasn't sort of the sort of current pop music at the time. But I lived with my grandparents, so my their version of pop music was always a bit older than all my friends' version of pop music. So my sort of go-to in the shower playlist is always sort of 20 years out of date to everyone else's. But yeah, we music was on all the time. So you know, I lived in a house where I was sort of running around singing and tapping the table all the time, and that's why everyone thought I'd be a drummer. So yeah,
Mm.
music was around, but I was the first person to like play an instrument. None of my family had played an instrument before, but we just all really enjoy listening to music.
How did that feel then? I mean, did you feel like you were leading? How was it? Because a lot of families, where there is music, know about all the practice you have to do, and all of the things that are involved with kind of learning a musical instrument. Like, how did you navigate that as a family and as an individual, would you say?
Yeah, well, I mean, I felt like I had to have quite a lot of self-discipline because none of my family had ever played any instrument before. I could, I could sort of play half of a C major scale very badly, and they all thought it was amazing. And even if I did that now, they'd probably still think it was fantastic. Um, so I had to do a lot of like, instead of having sort of my parents nagging me to make sure you practice or make sure that you get your trumpet out at least once a day sort of thing, I sort of had to do that for myself because
Hmm.
sort of in their eyes they didn't know how much practice I should be doing, and sort of any amount of practice was good. um so yeah, I just sort of had to. I mean, at first I was very bad, and like even just when I was sort of 10 years old, I mean, 15 minutes a day was a lot of practice for me. And obviously that got better, but but yeah, just sort of self-discipline really.